started with a voicemail, a garbled, static-laced message left on her sister's phone at exactly 3:17 a.m. The sound was faint, almost inaudible, but something about it didn't sit right. A gasp, a thud, a muffled scream, then a voice. The voice said one thing: "Don't let him in." 3 days later, Kayla Brinley, a 26-year-old nursing student from Raleigh, North Carolina, was found dead in a shallow creek near the outskirts of Wake Forest. Her car was abandoned miles away, purse untouched, no signs of struggle, no clear suspect. But tucked inside her coat pocket, zipped into the lining as if hidden on purpose, detectives found something that would change the entire course of the investigation. An old-school digital voice recorder, dusty, water-damaged, but salvageable. Flashback, 2 months earlier. Kayla had called the police twice in 1 week. Each time she said someone was following her. A man. "Maybe someone I know or used to know," she'd said. "But I can't prove it. Not yet." The officers chalked it up to anxiety. She was told to keep a log and call if anything escalated. It did. The calls got worse, more panicked. She believed someone had been inside her apartment while she was at work. Her laundry folded, pair of underwear missing, a single photograph left face down on her bed, an old photo of her as a child, the image scratched out. Still, there was no forced entry, no fingerprints, nothing that could hold up. That's when she bought the recorder. Present day, Detective Jenna Morales led the investigation. She had worked dozens of homicides, but this one was different. The voice recorder offered their only real lead. The audio was corrupted and faint. Forensic techs worked for days restoring it, piece by piece, clip by clip. Every time they pulled a new segment, something darker emerged. First, it was mundane, Kayla talking to herself, leaving notes, practicing what to say if she had to call 911. Then came whispers, faint noises in the background, heavy breathing, footsteps, a knock, but no answer. Then silence. And then, at exactly 2:46 a.m. on the night she vanished, the recording caught everything. The recording begins. Kayla is in her apartment, the sound of her locking the door, barricading it with furniture. She's crying quietly, whispering into the recorder. "I don't know what else to do. I think he's here again. He was watching me from the parking lot. I saw him. I know it's him." A minute passes. Then, knock, knock, knock. Her breath catches. The knocking grows louder, then stops. She moves, her footsteps fast, clumsy. Then a voice from outside her door. "Kayla, it's me. Just open up. I know you're scared, but you don't have to be." The voice is calm, familiar, too familiar. Kayla gasps. She whispers, "It's him. I was right. Oh my God, it's..." The recording cuts. Detectives froze. They played the clip over and over. The voice matched someone on her emergency contact form. Someone who had visited her at the hospital months before when she'd suffered a panic attack. Dr. Nathan Cole, a psychiatrist. He'd been treating her after her mother's suicide. He'd prescribed her anti-anxiety meds. Had access to her apartment through an old set of building master keys. Something no one had questioned before. He was trusted, professional, quiet, too quiet. Flashback. Kayla had stopped therapy suddenly. She wrote an email but never sent it. Found in her drafts. Subject: "I think he's watching me." She described how Dr. Cole had crossed lines, shown up unannounced, said strange things in sessions, claimed she wasn't ready to live on her own yet, that she shouldn't be left alone. She never pressed send. Morales confronted Dr. Cole. He denied everything, claimed she was spiraling, paranoid, that she had imagined things. But then came the final audio file, recovered and cleaned by forensics. One last piece of the puzzle. Kayla had left her apartment that night, on foot, in the rain, clutching the recorder. The audio picks up as she walks, her breathing rapid, paranoid, frantic. Then, footsteps behind her, fast. She screams, "Why are you doing this? What did I do?" And then his voice, no longer calm. "You weren't supposed to leave. You promised me. You said you'd stay. She screams again, then silence, and the faint sound of her final words, barely audible. I'm still recording. I'm still recording. Thud, rustling. The voice again. You should have just listened. Present day. Dr. Cole disappeared that same night after being released due to insufficient evidence. But the final seconds of the tape held something no one noticed at first. A second voice. Faint. Female. Whispering. Help her. The voice doesn't belong to Kayla. It doesn't belong to anyone identified in the investigation. It sounds distant, faded, almost like it wasn't recorded in real time. The forensic team ran spectral analysis. There's a timestamp embedded inside the recording that doesn't match the others, dated 2005, exactly 1 year after Kayla's mother died by suicide, and on the same street where another woman had vanished under similar circumstances. A woman who had also been a patient of Dr. Cole. And now, Detective Morales is standing in the woods near the creek where Kayla was found. The forensics team just unearthed something deeper, beneath the mud. Another recorder, caked in blood. They haven't played the audio yet. But carved into the plastic casing are 3 words. You're not done. The second recorder was buried nearly 2 feet beneath the surface, wrapped in a torn hospital gown and plastic sheeting. It had clearly been there for years, maybe longer. The blood on it was dried into the casing like rust. The forensics team didn't even try to clean it immediately. They transported it sealed, carefully, as if it were cursed. Detective Jenna Morales couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just evidence. It was a message. Flashback. 16 years ago, a young woman named Angela Wren, 24 years old, disappeared from the same neighborhood where Kayla had lived. She had been a psychiatric patient under the care of Dr. Nathan Cole. The file was thin, almost too clean. Her case was ruled a suicide, body never found. Just a week before she vanished, Angela had filed a police report stating she believed her therapist had been coming into her home at night. She claimed someone had been whispering her name from inside her closet. No one took it seriously, and now Morales had the evidence they didn't have back then. A second recorder. It was sent to digital forensics. The file names inside were labeled Session 1, Session 2, Session 3, and last night. The team played Session 1 first. Angela's voice, nervous but composed. He said, I'm not ready to stop therapy yet, but I am. I've been fine for weeks. I think he's dragging it out. I think he wants me to stay afraid. Then came Dr. Cole's voice, soft, clinical, but undeniably him. You're regressing, Angela. You don't remember things. We've talked about your memory lapses. She interrupts him. No, you told me I don't remember things. Silence. Then a low sound. Metal scraping against metal. A door opening. Angela whispering, wait, where are we? Session 1 ends. Session 3 is worse. She's crying, begging. The audio skips. I just want to go home. Cole's voice is muffled, distant. You were home. You came to me. Then a slam. Screaming. A struggle. But what made Morales sit up and freeze was what came next. Another voice. Faint. Raspy. Female. She's next. That voice didn't belong to Angela. It didn't belong to Dr. Cole either. And that voice, Morales had heard it before. It was the same one that whispered, help her, on Kayla's tape. Present day. The community was in chaos. The media caught wind of the connection between Kayla's murder and the 2009 disappearance. Whispers of a serial predator. A therapist hiding behind degrees and diagnosis. But there was still no sign of Dr. Nathan Cole. Until a letter arrived at the police department. Postmarked from a remote area of the Blue Ridge Mountains. No return address. Inside, a note scrawled in red ink. She was never the first. She won't be the last. But now, someone is listening. Taped to the note was a Polaroid. Kayla, alive. Eyes wide, gagged, tied to a chair in what looked like a hospital room. But outdated, run down, with vines creeping in from broken windows. But Kayla was dead. They found her body. So what was this? Morales compared the photo to the autopsy shots. The facial bruising didn't match. The clothing, not the same as what she was found in. But the girl in the photo looked exactly like Kayla, down to the scar under her lip. Morales took the photo to Kayla's sister, Melissa, hoping for clarity. Melissa broke down when she saw it. "That's not Kayla," she whispered. "That's our cousin, Eva. She disappeared when we were kids. Everyone said she ran away." Back at the lab, forensics finished decoding the final file on Angela Wren's recorder. Last night, it opens with humming. Angela is humming to herself in the dark. Then rapid breathing, panicked whispers. Then Dr. Cole, "You're part of the project now. You've seen what they don't understand. We listen, we record, and they become clearer." Angela screams. Then, layered over her cries, you hear dozens of whispers, overlapping, male, female, some childlike. They chant one phrase over and over, "You're not done." Then silence, and the sound of something dragging. Morales couldn't sleep that night. She rewatched the footage from the creek where Kayla's body had been found. Something felt wrong. She asked the forensic pathologist to double-check the dental records. The reply came back 2 hours later. The teeth didn't match. The girl buried wasn't Kayla Brinley. Flash forward. Morales drove to the last known address linked to Dr. Cole's family. An old psychiatric facility shut down in 1983. Hidden in the hills. Records wiped. Purchased by a shell company 5 years ago. One tied to Cole under a different name. She walks through the rotted front doors. Her flashlight flickers. There are photos on the walls. Patient files. Recorders. Names crossed out. And in one corner, a stack of cassette tapes. Each one labeled with a girl's name. Angela, Eva, Kayla, and one more, Jenna. The tape is warm, as if it was just recorded. She plays it. Her own voice echoes back at her. "He's inside the building. I don't think I'll make it out." She drops the tape. Behind her, the sound of footsteps, and a familiar voice whispers, "You're not done." The flashlight flickered again. Detective Jenna Morales froze in the pitch-black hallway of the abandoned psychiatric facility. Surrounded by peeling walls, rotting floors, and something colder than the mountain air pressing in around her. She reached for her service weapon, but deep down she knew she wasn't alone. The recorder in her hand still hissed. Static, followed by the faint echo of her own voice playing on a loop. "He's inside the building. I don't think I'll make it out." She hadn't said those words. Not yet. Flashback. 4 hours earlier. Morales had gone to the facility alone, off the grid. No backup. No body cam. She hadn't even told her partner where she was going. She knew that if the tapes were real, if Cole had planted her voice on one, they were playing by his rules now. There were no signs of recent entry on the outside. But the inside told another story. Fresh footprints in dust. Old meals in tin trays. A low humming sound coming from deep below. And a rusted elevator door slightly ajar, leading into blackness. She had taken the stairs. Now, 3 floors down, Morales stood face to face with a massive wall of surveillance monitors. Grainy footage played on a loop from dozens of mounted cameras throughout the building. Most were static, but 4 screens were still live. Room 3. A woman curled up on a cot, her face hidden. Room 7. A child's empty wheelchair rocking slowly. Room 9, a hallway, this hallway from a camera directly above her. And room 11. Dr. Nathan Cole, sitting calmly, staring into the camera, smiling. He reached forward and pressed a button. The monitors went black. Behind her, something creaked. Flashback. 16 years ago. Angela Wren's last session logs, never before recovered, revealed chilling notes in Dr. Cole's handwriting. They aren't delusions. They're echoes. Each girl sees a version of the one before. Memory transfer is happening through trauma imprinting. All it takes is repetition and isolation. They don't just record the past. They record what hasn't happened yet. Back in the basement, Morales ran. Twisting corridors, dripping pipes, unseen doors slamming behind her. Then voices, dozens, all female. all different, all speaking at once from unseen speak. He found me in my dreams. He keeps us quiet, but we remember. You're here now. You're next. Then silence, and a door, labeled room 12. Inside was a hospital bed, straps on the sides, chains on the wall, and on the floor photos, dozens, maybe hundreds. All of them were Kayla, or girls who looked exactly like her. Each one dated, each one labeled with a different name. Angela, Eva, Rena, Charlotte, Naomi, Leah, all different, all the same face, same scar beneath the lip. Morales realized the truth. Kayla wasn't one person. She was many. Template, a replication. Each girl erased and replaced by the next. And Dr. Cole had been documenting them for decades. Then, metal footsteps in the hallway. Dr. Cole appeared in the doorway, unarmed, calm, as if he'd been expecting her. "You're not the first to find this place," he said. "But you're the first one smart enough to come alone." Morales aimed her weapon. "Where are they?" He smiled. "Everywhere." He gestured to the wall behind her. More recorders. Thousands. Cataloged. Archived. Organized like trophies. Then he said something she would never forget. "They only die when we stop listening." Suddenly, the power cut. Pitch black. The lights returned in flashes. Strobing. And standing behind Dr. Cole figures. Flickering shadows of women. Girls. Some bloody. Some broken. But all of them identical. Their faces. Kayla's face. They were staring at her. Not him. Whispering, "Don't become the next one. Record everything." "He's not the only one." Morales fired. The bullet hit Cole square in the chest. He collapsed. She ran. The shadows didn't follow, but the whispers did. All the way back up the stairwell. All the way to her car. All the way home. Present day. Jenna Morales is back in her apartment. Alone. It's 3:17 a.m. The same time Kayla's first voicemail came through. There's a recorder in her hand, and she's speaking into it. "Detective Morales. Case log, August 1st. If something happens to me, he's still out there. I saw the others. I think he's..." A knock at the door. 3 knocks. Slow. Even. She turns toward it. Breath caught. Then a voice outside. Not Cole's. A woman's voice. Her own voice. "Jenna, it's me. You said you'd listen. Let me in." 3:17 a.m. Detective Jenna Morales stood motionless in her apartment's hallway, the faint blue glow of her recorder blinking in her hand. On the other side of her door, her voice. Her exact voice. "Jenna, it's me. You said you'd listen. Let me in." She backed away slowly, weapon drawn. Heart thudding. Chest tight. She whispered into the recorder like a prayer. "It's happening again." Flashback. 12 hours earlier. After the confrontation with Dr. Cole at the abandoned facility, Morales had made 2 mistakes. 1. She never verified if he was actually dead. 2. She took one of the recorders home with her. It hadn't stopped playing since. At first, it repeated audio logs from past victims. Angela, Ava, Kayla, spliced, looped, distorted. Then new files began to appear. Files she never recorded. Files of her. Arguing with people she never met. Crying in rooms she'd never been in. Whispering things she swore she'd never said. "I don't remember when it started. I think there's something inside me. It uses our voices because it doesn't have one of its own." The voice outside her door knocked again. Louder. Then, a second voice joined in. Younger. Breathy. Childlike. Familiar. "We were never meant to leave." Morales dropped the recorder. She ran to her laptop, opening the folder where she stored the ripped audio files. The most recent file hadn't been there 5 minutes ago. It was named Morales _final 0-0-5. She clicked play. Nothing. Just static. Then the scream. Her scream. A sound so guttural, so animal it didn't even sound human. Then, he was never working alone. Flashback. 6 years ago. Unrelated missing persons case. Same area. A small boy vanished from a foster home 2 towns over. The only clue left behind was an old microcassette player wedged between the slats of his bunk bed. Played one thing, over and over. She brought him back. The child's case was never connected to any of Cole's patients. But now it made sense, because the tape hadn't just said she. It had said Detective Morales brought him back. She hadn't even been assigned to the force then, or so she thought. Present day, the whispering hadn't stopped. It was coming from her vents now, from the water pipes, from the walls. She visited her father for answers, an old retired beat cop who never talked about his years on the force. But when she told him about Dr. Cole, about the voices, about the recorders, he went pale. "You found the tapes," he whispered. "God help you." "What tapes?" He looked her in the eye. "The Echo archives," he said. "They started showing up back in '78. At first, we thought they were some kind of prank. But then people started hearing things, seeing doubles, getting calls from themselves." He stood up, his voice shaking. "They aren't recordings. They're invitations." That night, Morales stayed in a motel. She left the recorder in the bathtub under running water, blocked the vents, covered the mirrors, didn't sleep. At 4:12 a.m., her phone lit up. Incoming call. Unknown. She answered, her voice again. "Detective Morales? Who is this? You told me to record everything." "I didn't. But you did. I have the tape. The one from when you were a girl. Do you remember what you said back then?" "No. You said you missed your mother. You said you'd do anything to see her again." Silence. Then, "I'm outside." Morales stood up, trembling. There, just beyond the window, was herself. Same clothes, same face, same scar on her hand. Eyes wide, mouth stitched shut, holding a recorder. Behind the double, a small figure, a child, and a hand gripping the child's shoulder. A man steps out of the dark behind them. Dr. Cole, alive and smiling. Then the screen goes black. An audio file begins playing over silence. File name 006. The sound of metal dragging. Footsteps. Then, a young girl's voice. "Mommy, why do I sound like her?" The girl's voice repeated. "Mommy, why do I sound like her?" Then the recording ended. No explanation. No timestamp. Just that voice. Detective Jenna Morales stared at her laptop screen as the message echoed inside her skull. The motel was dead silent now, the kind of silence that doesn't feel empty, but watched. She stepped away from the laptop slowly. The air had shifted. The motel mirror across the room had fogged over. She hadn't taken a shower. And then something scrawled across the fogged glass. "You're already in the archive." Flashback. 21 years ago, a 5-year-old girl is being interviewed in a police station. She's small, shaking, wrapped in a space blanket. A female officer tries to comfort her. "Sweetheart, can you tell me what happened to your mother?" The girl nods slowly. "She told me to press the red button if he came back." The officer leans in. "What red button?" The girl pulls something from her pocket. An old recorder, plastic cracked, the tape still running. But no one noticed the name scratched into the bottom. J. Morales. Present day. Jenna stumbles out of the motel into the night air. She drives for hours not knowing where she's going. Only that she has to get away. But there's no away. At 6:44 a.m., she pulls into the parking lot of the precinct. Everything's changed. No one greets her. The place is quiet, unnervingly clean, like it's new, like it's been waiting for her. On her desk, an envelope. Inside, a single photograph. It's her, tied to a hospital bed in room 12. Eyes closed, bruised, mouth open in a silent scream. The timestamp on the back is dated for tomorrow. She plays the final recovered tape. Audio begins softly, breathing, then whispering. But it's not just one voice. It's hundreds, layered, speaking over each other, crying, laughing, screaming, each voice saying one thing: "You heard us. That means you belong to us." And then louder: "You opened the archive." Flashback. 1 week ago. In a forensic lab, an intern had asked a harmless question: while analyzing Kayla Brinley's tape. Why are the timestamps non-linear? The girl talks about things that didn't happen yet. His supervisor hadn't answered, because they had noticed it too. One victim referenced another before that person had gone missing. It wasn't chronological. It was recursive. A loop. A script being performed again and again. New faces, same voices. Different deaths. Same ending. Morales loads all the audio files onto a hard drive. She drives to the Appalachian Woods. Back to the old facility. This time, she brings gasoline. Matches. She walks room by room, pouring it out, across patient beds, over file cabinets, through the monitoring hall. She hesitates at the wall of recorders. Each one still blinking. She can hear whispers inside them even when they're off. And then one recorder powers on by itself. Her mother's voice comes through. "Don't burn it, Jenna. We're still inside." She collapses. She sees them. The girls. Angela, Eva, Kayla, and dozens more. All of them trapped in static. Faces warped. Eyes wide. They are the archive now. And burning the facility won't destroy it. Because it never lived there. It lived in the tapes. In every digital backup. Every audio log. Every voicemail. Every time someone listens. And now she has listened the longest. Later that night, the facility is in flames. But somewhere across town, in a quiet suburban home, a teenage girl opens her laptop. She clicks a link sent by an anonymous email. A single MP3 file begins playing. Title: She secretly recorded her murderer. Audio revealed the chilling truth. MP3. First, it's just static. Then a whisper. "Hi, my name is Jenna Morales. If you're hearing this, it's too late." Final shot. The teen removes her earbuds. She stares at her mirror. Her reflection doesn't move. It just smiles. And behind her, a recorder starts blinking. To be continued, or maybe it already has, because you just listened to